everyone. Happy to have this moment with you all. My name is Ceferino Cenizo, and I'm a relationship coach and mindful compassionate dialogue trainer and practitioner. Mindful compassionate dialogue being a system for personal transformation, helping us to create thriving relationships with ourselves and others. So the exercise that I'll be guiding you through today is an exercise from the MCD system. What you'll be needing for this exercise is a pen, a piece of paper, as well as the handout which accompanies this exercise. The link to download the handout you'll find down below in the description or caption box of this video. Okay, so starting with our exercise, appreciation, which is relationship competency number 1 within the MCD system. So when most folks, when they hear the word appreciation, they think, oh, we're telling the other person they're such a brilliant this or such a wonderful that. It's all about them. It's got to do with praise and ego building and compliments. However, within this framework, we're saying no, appreciation is a form of honest expression. It's a form of expressing and celebrating something that's working well for me. So something that the other person did that's contributing towards the needs of mine, and then expressing that in a self-responsible way without assigning any labels or judgment on the other person. So we are not telling the other person you're such a brilliant this or such a wonderful that. All those things are labeled that's meant to serve as appreciations. However, they are not very effective at that. Because for one, they are labels, and no one enjoys receiving a label of themselves, even a positive label, even a positive judgment. Because deep down they know that they are this dynamic, ever-expanding and becoming being. And then two, most often those labels have been used as forms of manipulation or as ways to shape or mold our behavior, particularly when we were growing up. So immediately when we use those type of labels, you're such a brilliant cook, or you're such an amazing husband or wife, people, they shy away from that, they squirm, they start to pull away from it, and they even deflect or reject those labels. And of course, those labels are not very effective in communicating to the other person what it is that's truly important to you and how exactly it is that they contributed to you. So then, opening up your handout, which I'll be doing now as well, and then turning to page 2, you'll see a table titled Express What's Working. Okay, and you'll see 3 columns on this page. The first column being an example, and then the other 2 columns, some space for us to practice. Okay, so the idea for this exercise then is to think of a situation, a person or interaction recently where you had some or felt some appreciation or felt some gratitude toward, or any type of fuzzy, warm feelings in response to something that someone did or said to you. So I invite you to take a moment now to think of a situation. It can be recent or something from the past where someone did something to you that you felt really contributed towards you. And it doesn't have to be something huge, a huge event. It can be something as simple as holding the door for you. And then once you've got your example, the next thing that we're going to do is to do some sorting. So we're going to tease apart that incident, that event, that experience into these various categories, which is down this first column. So observation, thought, feeling, and need. And the reason for doing this is to get crystal clear on what exactly it is that they did and how what it is that they did contributed to us. So what needs of ours, or what values of ours did this person contribute to through this act or this gesture or these words that they express? Okay, so the first step in the exercise then is to identify or to write down the observation. And we want to be clear or mindful to only extract or to capture the neutral observation without any meaning or interpretations. So in this example that you've got there on page 2 of the exercise of your handout is, my spouse brought me breakfast in bed this morning. So thinking of your situation or your example, what is something that someone recently did or said to you that contributed to you in some way? And then once you've gotten your neutral observation, the next step is to identify, get clear on the thought. So when this person did this act, what meaning did you make of this person's behavior or their action? In our example, the thought was, they love me and know what's nourishing for me. So the observation again, my spouse brought me breakfast in bed this morning, and then they had this thought that they love me and know what's nourishing for me. Okay, now that you've identified your thought, the next step in the exercise is to identify the feeling. So what feelings came up for you when this person did this act or this behavior? So for this part of the exercise, I invite you to turn to page 1 of your handout and look through the feelings list. And I really encourage you to actually do page 1 and have a look at the feeling list, because oftentimes we've got quite a limited vocabulary or feelings and needs, actual feelings and need lists. And often we use interpretations or judgments even to in an attempt to express feelings. Because the clearer we get to the actual feelings, the better we can identify the actual universal needs that was met for us in that moment, which is the next step. So in this example, the feelings were content, pleased, and touched. And then finally, once you've written down, identified and written down your feelings, the next is then to identify the needs. So what needs of yours or what values of yours were met? And again, I invite you to page 1 of your handout and to look through the needs columns, which is the 2 columns to the right of the page. Identify all the needs that were met that stimulated those feelings. In our example, the needs were needs for support, love, and care. So in this example, my spouse brought me breakfast in bed this morning, and that contributed to my needs for support, love, and care. And then at the bottom of the exercise, you'll notice the formal structure for appreciation, which is the observation, the feeling, and the need. So when I see or hear or notice, you fill in the blank, the observation. I feel, fill in the blank, the feelings, because it met my needs for, fill in the blank, the needs that it met or contributed towards for you. Just wanted to let you know. So I invite you, the invitation is to do at least one appreciation a day in this format, in this way. It's a wonderful way for you to get clear on your own needs and your own values, and to get clear and be reminded of all the ways in which other people are contributing to you. And of course, it's a wonderful way for you then to make requests once you've identified, oh, these are the things that are important for me. These are the needs, the values that really give me that sense of fulfillment or satisfaction or thriving. So now you can actually go out and make requests of others or of yourself to meet those needs, or you can start recreating situations, scenarios, and relationships in which those needs can be met. And of course, you're also letting others know how they are contributing to you or how they can contribute to you. So what does it mean? What does love look like to you? What does respect look like to you? There's so much meaning in doing an appreciation in this way, as opposed to just like a thank you or you're so brilliant or you're such a wonderful that, which doesn't really communicate anything and it doesn't really build any form of or a deeper level of connection and intimacy than this format of appreciation could allow for. Okay, that's it for today. Thank you for your practice. I hope to see you in our next exercise.